Yo. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto. Hola, it's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to 2020. Today, we're starting off the year without our co-host, David. Way to start off the year, David. Oh, look at that. David, what do you have to say today? Nothing? He's awfully quiet. Well, I guess I have nobody to make fun of my dance moves today. Well, there actually is somebody here to make fun of the dance moves. That would be our producer, D Money. We forked up the cash and got him a camera. D Money, why don't you say hello?
What's going on, y'all? Good to be here today. Brand new year, switching things up. I don't know why they call me D Money. It's just as stupid as Robin's dance moves.
All right, cool. Well, if this is your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, boring, and stale information and package it up in a fun and sexy way. And I do want to give a shout out to Global Media. There are media partners here and help us broadcast this out, not just YouTube, but other channels as well. And then here, we don't just do live streams. We also do deep dives. This is the live stream, though. Check out the deep dives. And then I do got to throw out a quick disclaimer. We're not financial advisors, and proceed with caution. Thank you. So what do we got in store for you today? We are going to talk on some articles today. We got all of our trending articles. We have our hot take, more of a discussion piece. And then we're going to touch on the market as well. And then we're going to send it off so that way we can enjoy the year. So one last thing. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe. And then ring the notification bell because we got all kinds of cool deep dives. We got some really cool deep dives in production. So we're ramping up the quality side on our end, so really excited to see what's gonna come out. So for today, let's talk about where Bitcoin is. We're at 46,000. So with Bitcoin, haven't seen a big run up. We did have subpar December this year. So with that said, the big gains are coming. January is gonna be beautiful, my dude. I'm really excited. So I think come second, maybe third week of January, I do expect the big push, the big pumps. We do have a couple things in line for January as well. So really excited to see where the year brings for us. And then let's get into the hot take there. What we got? Oh, that's fuego, baby. It's hot.
Okay, so today's hot take. 2022 will be the year of the blank ecosystem. Robin, what do you think?
So who's going to take the crown for 2022? What ecosystem? I think you pretty much have to go with a layer one blockchain. Also for me, I think the most promising ecosystem, the most promising one out there right now is definitely Cardano. I'm telling you, everybody keeps hyping up Cardano. Everybody's talking about it underperforming. However, their smart contracts are going. This is the year Cardano. Don't be fooled. They have already made partnerships with 2 different African nations. They're helping get people on the internet. And there's something that is going to happen this year that is going to really move the needle forward. So it's going to be digital identifications, something that Cardano is working on. So if you're not familiar with digital identifications here in the United States, we have the luxury of a very good infrastructure that has all of your documentation. So let's just say you want to go get your passport or you have your driver's license with the DMV. All of these things that we take for granted are something that a lot of third world nations don't have an infrastructure built out for. So if you're applying for a mortgage or a loan, or you're going to college, or you're moving, you transcripts, things of this nature, it is very hard for somebody that was born outside of an infrastructure that can track who they are. And as simple as that sounds, the blockchain technology is giving countries the opportunity to store this data and have it change in real time. So when I say this, so think of it this way. You have the countries in Africa, don't have identification. Cardano, basically in Kenya, we'll take Kenya for an example. The middle school and high school students now have a DID or DID, which is the digital identification, and now they have their transcripts on this blockchain. They can graduate, they can have their information transferred over. There's no need for servers or data, or there's no need to email or contact the administrative offices back in the home country. It's all you can easily pull any of this up through the Cardano network. So that's just the entry into their platform. So now if that's the entry into their platform, think of it this way. When they decide to go get a bank account and they have difficulties, all of that infrastructures are going to be ready. So you're going to have millions of people in a foreign nation that have nothing but an opportunity to, they're basically forcing them to be exposed to the Cardano network and forcing them to be exposed to blockchain. And so when they go to create a wallet, the infrastructure is already there. So Justin Isosceles says Polkadot, exclamation point. Are you a Polkadot homer, sir? I would assume so. So I do think Polkadot has a lot of promise. I could see why you're referencing Polkadot as the go-to 2022. They're lined up for it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they are the king. Gavin Wood, the founder of Polkadot, the founder of Polkadot, Gavin Wood, he was a co-founder with Ethereum, so he has the track record. They have executed their pair chain auctions, their second round of them. There's a lot of cool projects there, so I'm excited to see who does well. I don't think there's gonna be essentially a winner take all. You know, there's gonna be some that do better than others, but definitely Cardano for sure, in my opinion. But I can see Polkadot, and let's not forget about Solana. I think this year is the layer one DeFi. That's what's gonna shine. That's what's gonna be front and center. We're gonna get away from the adoption of NFTs from different corporations. You know, as far as their sole exposure to cryptocurrency, it's not gonna just be NFTs. So this year, big expectations for large corporations accepting Bitcoin, accepting crypto payments, paying their employees in crypto, using blockchain for data management. And I think Cardano checks all those boxes. They fit very well for where I think they're going to go. Charles Hoskinson, one of my favorites, one of my favorite guys ever. If you're not familiar with him, he has his own podcast. He's the CEO of IOHK, which is the foundation that started Cardano. So really excited to see where that goes. This guy Justin is he's alive in the chat. Yes, love me some Polkadot. Pair chain is gonna explode. ADA or DOT long term. So yeah, I think long term definitely Cardano. Cardano has the vibe for me of like Apple. So if you think of Apple, the corporation, they seem to do things the right way. They're worried about quality. They're worried about about basically getting their product in the hands of everybody in the world. And I feel like Cardano's doing the same thing. So really excited with that. Now we'll get into the talking points. So let's see what's trending this week. With the talking points, you got my laptop pulled up. Articles. All right. So what do we got in store for articles today?
So today we got Bitcoin hash rate reaches new all-time high. At the peak of China's crackdown on Bitcoin miners and trading activities within its jurisdiction last year, the Bitcoin mining hash rate declined to an all-time low of 58.4 million terahashes per second, as many miners were taken out of business due to the strict anti-crypto policy. What do you think about it, Robin?
So let's talk about what, if you're not familiar with the hash rate is, basically the difficulty of the mining for the mining rewards. So if you're a miner of Bitcoin, how much of your graphic cards do you need, or the ASIC units, which is the graphic cards that the miners use for Bitcoin, how much of that does it take to get the reward. And this generally has a 1-to-1 correlation with the price of Bitcoin. So with the price of Bitcoin being at 46,000, the all-time high for Bitcoin was at over 60,000. Now, I think there's a big gap there. The hash rate is at all-time high, but the Bitcoin is not. But if you look at the correlation of Bitcoin and the hash rate in the past, they've moved together, which is another indication, another clue, another chart to take a look at that says, that speaks loud, it's screaming to the walls that the pumps are coming, man. I am freaking excited. Now, let's also take into account that the hash rate doesn't only go up over time because of the price, as an example. It doesn't go up over time. It's not programmed in a way to just naturally go up. What ends up happening is that these miners, they get more graphics cards and they get more ASIC units, and then in turn the pool of miners all have more and more graphics cards, and in turn the difficulty raises. Marathon, which is another local Las Vegas mining company, they are publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, a couple weeks ago, made an announcement that they're going to pick up another $200 million worth of graphics cards. So it's just another example of how they are, how just one company in itself is investing in more graphics cards, and in turn higher hash rate. But what does that mean for you? The prices are coming. The Bitcoin, the 60,000 is coming. The 70,000 is coming. The 100,000 is coming. This is the year of the Bitcoin. I know everybody's been talking about the $100 Bitcoin and then the crash and the cycles. It's coming. It's coming. And this is the writing on the wall. So what else we got?
Another billionaire. Here we go. Billionaire Ray Dalio insists government...
Dalio!
Dalio insists governments could outlaw Bitcoin. So the founder of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates, has reiterated his warning that governments could outlaw Bitcoin. In history, they've outlawed gold, they've outlawed silver, and so on. And they could outlaw Bitcoin, as he stressed. Excuse my voice. Been doing Christmas carols since the beginning of December. Robin, what do you think?
I think if you're going to talk a big game about doing a Christmas carols, that you should just go ahead and lay one out for us. Let's get a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Joy to
you know what? Apparently, Adrian thinks you have a sexy voice. So there is a lot more D money to come. We're really excited. We're happy to have him on the team, especially since David couldn't make it. David, you are off to a great start this year, by the way. I hope you're watching. Let's take a look at David's seat here. David,
look at David.
Let me ask you a
right
question.
there.
How is your New Year's going so far?
Looks a little stagnant, if you ask me.
A little stale, just like his personality. Now, okay, so getting into Ray Dalio, a little bit about who he is. He's comes from old money. He's predominant CEO, well respected. However, he has been behind gold and the traditional commodities. That's what he's known for. That's what he's been behind. Now, what's surprising is that he did disclose that he has a small percentage, about 1% to 2% of his portfolio allocated to Bitcoin. So if you know anything about this gentleman here, is that he is or he was against cryptocurrency. He was against Bitcoin for so long, and it wasn't just until maybe last year that all of a sudden the narrative from this gentleman had changed. So if you're wondering about market adoption, you're wondering about where Bitcoin is, I don't think there is a CEO with a high profile, or there's a big investment firm that doesn't have some kind of exposure to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin to be specific. Some other companies do have Ethereum. However, really interesting. So that's kind of what I took away. He also when he was questioned about his portfolio, he gave himself the name of I'm Mr. Diversification. So now that if that doesn't when you diversify, you're usually diversifying into safe and stable assets. So with that said, a man that is known for having safe and stable assets is invested in Bitcoin. So that doesn't also speak to where we are in Bitcoin, because it wasn't just but a few years ago. The narrative was Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. Bitcoin's going to go to zero. Bitcoin this. And now the guy that was screaming that crap is over here holding Bitcoin talking about, Mr. Diversification. You know, just like I'm your boy, Big Rob. You know, I give myself a name. He gives himself a name. That it is what it is. And then Dalio also agrees that investors should hold 1 to 2% of their investment in Bitcoin. And so not only is he doing it himself, but he's recommending to people out there, people that follow him, he's recommending to them to hold 1 to 2% of their portfolio in Bitcoin as well, which is something that the general public or the general investors here in the United States is not doing, which does, his other quote kind of threw me off a little bit. So he said that they have outlawed gold, they've outlawed silver, and so on, and they could outlaw Bitcoin. So I don't think they can outlaw. They can't outlaw Bitcoin. The Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, has already went out on a limb and said he's not outlawing Bitcoin. He's not outlawing Ethereum. So that's out of the question. And there was an article I read that it would be unconstitutional for them to outlaw Bitcoin. I don't know exactly what the parameters of that would be, but apparently it's not on the table. So they can classify something as a security. However, they did pass a statement saying that Bitcoin was actually a commodity and that it trades like gold. So there's no way possible that the SEC can consider it a security at this point, unless something were to change. But Bitcoin, it's DeFi, it's its own protocol, it's running. So anyways, ain't gonna outlaw it. Just like they're not going to outlaw gold, they're not going to outlaw silver, and they're not going to outlaw Bitcoin. So the dude's on the right path, but he's still talking sense. He's got a lot of spiders up in his head or something. So yeah. What else we got?
Power outages in Russia. Irkutsk region blamed on home miners. Miners, whole reason why. So here it states Russians mining cryptocurrency in their homes have been blamed for the problems with the electricity supply in Irkutsk. Power outages have become a frequent occurrence in the region, which maintains the lowest electricity rates in Russia. Subsidized household energy has turned mining into a source of income for many locals. What do you think about them miners, Robin?
Well, it just shows that people are going to make money on crypto. Straight up. Like, people are always going to make money. It's a revolutionary technology. It's very simple. All you got to do is go down to the computer hardware store, pick up a graphics card, plug it in, and you can start generating money. You can also help secure the network. And it does draw a lot of power, at least for the Ethereum right now. I don't think as an at-home miner, you can't mine Bitcoin. The network requires, the hash rate's too large for at home. So I'm just under the assumption they're mining Ethereum. They could also be mining Raven Coin or a couple other ones as well. But here's a couple of things I took away from the article. So the city has actually filed 85 different lawsuits against miners. So not only are they upset with the usage, but they're actually going through litigation to have them shut off their mining rigs. That narrative that was in China, I think we discussed it a couple times, but that narrative that they had in China where China was against the miners, China was trying to shut down the miners, and then that FUD essentially crashed the market. It's the same. This is all the writings on the wall. All the same talk is on the wall for Russia. So now that now that China's completely cut out and completely booted all the miners out of their country, although there are there are a very small percentage of people doing it in unbeknownst to the government. However, pretty much all the miners love China. Let's get into Russia. Russia is the next China. They're going to be the next FUD. They're going to be the ones they're currently pushing to launching CBDC, just like China. And they keep repeating the same phrases that they're going to shut down the miners. They're going to sue these miners. So just beware. I could see 2022. We're going to have a couple FUD articles that crash the market. I think this is the new China. This is the new FUD. Also, a couple other takeaways. The consumption of power in the city of Irkutsk has surged by 108%. So let's let that sit in. So in 2022, compared to 2021, they more than doubled the power supply for the entire city, all due to mining. Now, you could assume there maybe somebody plugged in some extra refrigerators or something, but let's be real. They doubled the power because of mining. But hey, people gonna make money, and the government's gonna complain and sue people. And that's what we got. So let's see. Authorities want to upgrade the. So what they're saying is that authorities in the city want to upgrade the network, or they want to upgrade the power grid. So they are looking in ways to do that, even though the miners are going to still do what they're going to do. So they are trying to bring more power to the region, but they're gonna do some tax hikes or incorporate some tariffs to the miners themselves. So even though they have the lawsuits, you know what? The government's going to make their money. The governments are going to tax them. And so I like to see how that plays out. So, all right, what's the next one? What we got?
We got El Salvador's president predicts that Bitcoin will be legal tender in 2 more countries this year.
Okay.
So, well,
he had a pretty cool tweet there too.
Yeah.
So he made some bold predictions. So what do we got for predictions here?
We got Bitcoin will reach 100,000 this year. 2 more countries will adopt it as legal tender. Third one will become a major electoral issue in U.S. elections this year. Fourth one being Bitcoin City will commence construction. Volcano bonds will be oversubscribed. And the last one, huge surprise at the Bitcoin conference.
Okay, so he dangled a carrot on the huge surprise one. So we'll start off at the top here. Let me just take a peek at the article here. So Bitcoin at 100,000. I think everybody knows that's coming. Mr. Bukele is all in on Bitcoin. He knows where the price is going to go. He's been buying in every time the price has dipped under 45,000. He buys some more. Every time the price dips to under 40,000, he buys some more. And then he's taking these profits and he's reinvesting it in the country. He's building schools, veterinary hospitals. He's building infrastructure throughout the city. He's gifted every citizen of El Salvador Bitcoin. Now, you do got to take into account that the population for El Salvador is pretty small. So it's a little easier for a country like that to give every citizen in the country Bitcoin. However, doesn't mean, I'm not trying to short sell that at all. It's still freaking huge, man. You know, they were dependent on the dollar. They're dependent on the U.S.'s handouts for running their country. Now, he also said, so Mr. Bukele said that there's going to be 2 countries this year that take Bitcoin as payment, or that they make it one of their national currencies. Which countries would that be? There's the obvious choice here, which is going to be Panama. Panama also has a small population. Panama is also dependent on the dollar. That's their national currency. And so with that said, it's almost like a mirror of one another. And when you're a smaller country, it's a little easier to pass very strong legislation. It's easy to say, hey, we're going to transition from this money system or this monetary system to another one. And so I could see Panama 100%. And then another one, I know David talked about it last time he was on the show, but we are thinking about having Brazil. Let me tell you, if Brazil takes Bitcoin. That is the strongest economy in South America. It is a powerhouse. So if you take an entire continent, South America, the biggest economy, Brazil, let's go Brazil. I speak Portuguese. If Brazil can take Bitcoin, if Brazil can transition over, I'm moving to Brazil. Big prediction here. It's not going to be Sin City crypto. It's going to be Cidade de Brazil crypto. And I'm bringing David with me. David, what do you think? Yeah, David's going to come. That's right. What else we got? Actually, hold on. He also did mention, which is kind of interesting, a couple more things before we move on from this article. So he referenced the volcano. What was it? It was a volcano bonds or something like that. Either way,
volcano bonds will be oversubscribed.
Volcano bonds will be oversubscribed. So I think it'll be interesting. If you're not familiar with the volcanoes of El Salvador, they're using the thermal energy to mine Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin miners, at least here in the U.S., have outperformed Bitcoin this year in their evaluation. So there's been so much flooding of money into these Wall Street companies that do Bitcoin. So Marathon, Riot. If you take the basket of all of the miners, they've actually outperformed Bitcoin, probably because Bitcoin kind of underperformed at the end of the year. But either way, that's pretty promising. And if El Salvador goes all in on Bitcoin mining with their volcanic energy, that's pretty cool sounding. How does it sound? What would you say about having volcanoes mine Bitcoin? Does that sound like a fairy tale, or?
It sounds very far-fetched, if you ask me. A couple of them sound a little far-fetched.
But if you can power a house with a volcano, I mean, it's not make-believe. I mean, they're literally powering factories, they're powering homes with volcanic energy. Why not power a graphics card? It does sound kind of like a fairy tale kind of thing, but it's something that's in production now. So I'm excited to see how that builds out. And then he also said, he has a watch out for Bitcoin conference this year. I feel like he's teasing a big announcement. So I don't know what else Mr. Bukele could do. I don't know what he could say that would be a little bit more groundbreaking than his country accepting Bitcoin as a national currency. So maybe he's got some up his sleeve. Maybe he's gonna.
This one, it says he announced his plan to build the world's first Bitcoin city powered by a volcano and financed by November.
So he gave November.
Yeah, he put a month on there, November.
Okay, so and then also if you're not familiar, the Bitcoin city, basically an entire city just built around the premise of Bitcoin, where everybody transacts in Bitcoin. So there's a lot of big crypto players that are moving to El Salvador. There's been a lot of investment as well. So they've seen a ton of money come into the country from these Bitcoin maxis and people that are getting behind it, and they're buying homes and they're going there and they're spending money in the country. So there is also other benefits that have come to fruition since the adoption of Bitcoin. So, all right, I think that's all I got from that article. So, what else we got?
So we got another one from Robinhood, trading platforms, upcoming launch of cryptocurrency wallets. They go on to say, in mid-January, we will launch the wallets beta phase, which will roll out to thousands of customers from the waitlist.
Yeah, so there's some record amount of people waiting for the cryptocurrency wallets. Which, for one, I don't understand why you're waiting for cryptocurrency wallets. There's thousands of wallets from very reputable sources like Coinbase and Binance, or you can go get your own DeFi wallet like the Trust Wallet or MetaMask. So for me, I'm not really too sure why people are waiting. I get it. People use Robinhood. They have their account. They're comfortable with it. They can buy some cryptocurrencies on there. However, I don't think it really changes anything. Instead of, I guess it's a movement forward, but I don't really necessarily trust Robinhood. I trust Robin myself, but I don't trust Robinhood.
They robbing the hood.
Yeah, they steal from the rich and then give to the poor, but That's the premise behind Robinhood. But I think they actually do the opposite. I think they take and steal from the poor. And I'm using poor as a reference to the traditional phrase, but the commoners. They're basically taxing them, and then they're in turn lining the pockets of the rich people. And with the GameStop fiasco that happened, where once the big players were losing money in the GameStop short squeeze, once these institutions and these big hedge funds that were going out and trying to make money off of somebody else's failure, once the people stood up, once the commoners stood up and they took a stand and they got behind GameStop, and they didn't want to see a company go under for the simple fact that other people were hedging their bets. They're like, hey, I mean, think about it. Think about what happened in that situation. If you're not familiar with GameStop, basically, big companies were betting for them to close, and they were hedging their position. They were putting money behind it, and they were purposely trying to make the company go out of business. Then the people stood up. The Reddit community stood up. And these are the people now that are invested in crypto. These are the people that are tired of seeing Wall Street step all over people like me and you. And they got together and they bought the stocks. They counterbalanced what the big wigs were doing. And then what happened? Robinhood stepped in and they suspended all trading. They were trying to protect the rich people here. They were trying to protect the old money. They were trying to protect a company that was purposely trying to bankrupt a company like GameStop, and they shut it down. And then what happened? Nothing happened. The government was like, oh, that's not right, we're going to look into it. They didn't do nothing. So for me, I don't understand why people want to use Robinhood. It's it's in most basic form. Robinhood is a stock trading application. So that's what they were built for. And then they just try to take advantage of other people by offering Dogecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum. And even that, you don't own any of it. You just buy the rights to it. So if I buy some Dogecoin on Robinhood, they go out and they purchase some and hold it in their own wallet. And then in turn, they're making tons of money off of this. There's a reason. There is a reason Robinhood is free. It's free to the users, not because they're being generous. It's because they're taking people's money and they're just freaking, they're selling your information, they're selling your data, but they take your money. Let's just say there's billions of dollars invested in Dogecoin through their platform. You don't think that they're basically earning some staking from that? You don't think they're lending it out? You don't think that they're making money off of your investment? Which is all the reason to have a crypto wallet. Now they have a crypto wallet coming. That's what they're building. But even then, if you keep your coins on their wallet, it's still the same thing. They still custody it. It's still theirs because it's just like a Coinbase wallet. It's just like any other exchange. If you use Coinbase and you don't remove your coins from the exchange, they own it and they can do what they please with it. So I'm just tired of Robinhood. I think they're crooks. I don't like their shady business practices. They're not a crypto trading platform. I don't know why people are waiting for the crypto wallet. It's not going to change anything. And I guess you can remove your coins if you want to, but let's be real. If you're using Robinhood, you're probably never going to remove your coins from their platform anyways. So it's just a facade. It's smoke and mirrors. They're just up to their normal business practices. So,
well, they went on to say, we will be rolling out some additional security features for crypto transactions. These include multi-factor authentication in-app, so we know it's you when you initiate a transfer, and transaction checks to better understand the risk of where coins are being sent. You and David talked about that the other day.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't make a new wallet. You can't roll out something like that and not have security features. But what they're trying to advertise here is that they're gonna go above and beyond to protect their customers or their guests, but they're not doing anything revolutionary here. A two-factor authentication is standard. It's like a bank. It's like a bank saying, "Hey, we're going to offer you and you're going to be able to balance your checking account and your savings account. You can access it through the internet. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to give you a password to log in. We're going to make sure that the servers are protected. Like, that's standard, bro. Like, everybody does that. Two-factor authentication, that's basically just a password. Like, that's it. It's a password on your phone. So once again, it's all smoke and mirrors. They're trying to give this illusion that they're giving you some kind of unique product nobody else has. It's just basically the standard of a wallet. They're making you a wallet, and then now you got two-factor authentication, and they're not gonna insure your wallet at all. So if you mess up and you send your tokens from the wallet to an incorrect address and your tokens get burned, you're out of luck. They're not backing that up. Basically, they're just gonna give you some education, two-factor authentication. Nothing new here. It's just smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors. Tired of Robinhood. Let's go. Coinbase, Binance, just use those. You know, I like other platforms, but just, if you're new to crypto, just Coinbase and Binance, just go there and be done with it. That's it. You got any more articles? That's it. All right. So let's take a look at the markets. All right, a little market analysis here today. So if there is any project you want me to take a look at, just put it down in the chat, and then I'll take a peek at that as well. It's just kind of weird. We don't have Stereo 2 in the chat today, or Sean. They're usually behind some cool projects. So let's just take a look at the Bitcoin. So let me just refresh this, make sure it's all up to date. It's up 46,600. We'll take a peek at the Bitcoin chart. Let's take a look at the 7-day. So let's see where we're at. We were at over 51,000 just a week ago. We've been in the downward trend, bouncing around 45 and 47,000, it looks like. Yeah. So you did have a lot of sell-offs in Bitcoin over the end of the year. A lot of that came for tax purposes. And now that we're into a fresh year, not the best start, but definitely week 2 and week 3 of the month should see a reversal. We're going to just take a quick peek at where we're at in the cycle, or at least for the year. We did start the year at, so since it's 2022, the first Monday of the year, we'll just kind of take a peek at where Bitcoin was last year and what we can expect. So we did see all-time highs at 68,000, and Bitcoin started pretty much at an all-time low, 35,000. So we're still sitting pretty good as far as Bitcoin goes. And then, we got Leon in the chat. What's up? Coinbase can manipulate one coin portfolio. Okay. What's up, Leon? And what's up, Tara? So 46,000. I definitely can see us getting past the all-time high in the next 2 months, probably next month, honestly. And then let's take a quick peek at the rest of the market. Ethereum sitting at 3,700. It is under 4,000. I think 4,000 is going to be a very tough resistance mark for Ethereum. It was over 4,000 for so long. It's kind of disappointing to see it where it is, but let's be real. They have been pushing back the Ethereum 2.0, where they move over to proof of stake. They keep pushing it back over and over again. And with that said, we started at 4,000. So anyways, they keep pushing it back. People are getting tired. The network is slow, and people are using other networks. People are using Solana. People are using Avalanche. That's why you've seen all of these layer 1 DeFi protocols pumping so much lately. So let's just take a quick peek at the last 3 months where Ethereum has been. So we've been as high as 4,800. I think that is the all-time high, 4,800. wanted to see Ethereum break 5,000. If you want to see Ethereum break 5,000, drop a 5K in the chat. Just to give, because your boy got a lot of Ethereum. Ethereum is one of my favorite projects. That and Polygon and Matic is really juicy right now, just for the simple fact that Ethereum is lagging behind with its development. Going into the rest of the chart here, we got Solana at 170, Cardano 134. Big things coming out of Cardano. Cardano at 134 is a very good buy. I know we keep harping on this, but I could definitely see Cardano over $2 in the next few weeks or next few months, and next 2 months. So I definitely see that. Let's just take a peek at what Cardano has done this year. It did have all-time highs at, I think it was like $3, and doesn't show here, but I did see on some of the exchanges $3.20 Cardano. It just says $3 here, but basically all-time highs right at 3. We did start the year out, so don't get it twisted. You want to talk about a project straight pumping? We started the year out at a 22-cent Cardano. It traded under 40 cents throughout January, and then for almost half a year it was under $1.50. So I think it's a great time. Traded at $2 for a few months here, but smart contracts are live. Sunday swap. I'm telling you, man, Sunday swap is going to be huge. The one thing that's missing from Cardano is the implementation of a DEX that everybody's using. The Sunday swap platform, really excited behind it. They've already launched their public beta, so people are using it right now. They're not using it to transact actual dollars, but people are using it at the moment. So really excited with that. Let's see what else we got in the chat here. We got Justin says 5K, let's go. Justin, how much Ethereum you got, if you don't mind me asking? And then we got Leon said he bought 10 quant. Do you think it'll be a good long-term hold? And what do you think is better to buy, Solana or Avalanche? So let's take a quick peek at quant, because he asked first. So actually, I think we were gonna do a deep dive on quant. That should be in the works. So let's see. Quant sitting at number 65 on the market cap list at $181 with 12 million in circulation. So the circulating supply looks good. The market cap at 2 billion is pretty good for something with that holds this much weight. We'll take a quick peek at the market, see what the liquidity looks like. Coinbase, KuCoin, Binance, no Binance.us, but you got Coinbase, Uniswap, KuCoin. So liquidity is good for that. And then let's take a quick peek at their website. Connecting all the world's distributed ledgers faster and more efficient. Okay. So it looks like a cross-bridge platform. David knows a lot. David, didn't you do a lot of research on quant? No research. None? Okay. Never mind. I thought David did a lot of research on quant. Okay, let's take a quick peek. So when I'm taking a look at different projects, I am looking at the 1 month and the 1 year. The 1 month is more of an indication of where the price could go in the short term, and the 1 year is more or less an indication of where the price will be long term. So in the 1 month chart, is pretty much traded around $200 or just shy of it. We were as high as $220. So I like to look at the 1 month chart, as long as it's not an anomaly, which it's not. The 1 month chart at 220, so that is a very realistic number to reach again. So at $180, you're talking about a 30% gain there. So about 30% to be made on that on the short term. And all-time highs sitting around $400 for quant, and it being under 200. I could easily see within the next 1 to 2 years getting a quick 2x out of this. It is a top project, so don't see any risk in that. So I don't know. I could see a 2 to 3x out of this in the next year or so. So that's how I feel about that. Now, and then we also had a question, Solana or Avalanche? I think Solana, just because it has a larger community. So if I had to invest in either Solana or Avalanche, Solana has been as high as $220 or $230, I think, in the past, sitting at $1.70. Very, very big community. They have overtaken Cardano as far as the lead in the most staking. So the community is staking their tokens. They're hodling long term. There is tons of NFTs being built out on it. Solana is an extremely fast blockchain. They've had a couple hiccups with the security of the network, with the network kind of going down in the past, which is normal for blockchains, especially one that's new and coming to the marketplace. I think there's gonna be some big things. Not to short sell Avalanche at all. Just right now, there's just so much behind Solana. I think I could easily see Avalanche overtaking Solana. However, I think it's more likely that Solana will hold its hold on the market cap, and I think they're going to only grow their community even further than it is now. And the longer it takes for Ethereum to upgrade and to become faster, the more time it gives these other platforms like Solana and Avalanche time to move up. So, and then we got, let's see, what's the better book? Okay, NFTs. Okay, Justin has 8 NFTs. Good job. XRP or XLM? I'm going to go, I think your safer bet would be XLM. Just keep in mind that XLM is essentially a fork of XRP. It is the same founders, or one of the co-founders of XRP founded XLM. It's another payment and transfer rail that banking systems can use and other corporations. XLM does have the MoneyGram partnership, which is absolutely huge because MoneyGram is damn near in every country in the world. So if you're not familiar with MoneyGram, kind of like the Western Union, you know, you can send money to people overseas. Now it's done cheaper, faster, and more efficient due to the help of XLM. This was a partnership that was gonna fall, that was in the works with XRP, and then of course with the lawsuit with the SEC, that they basically MoneyGram switched over, went to XLM, and used them instead. Something that's going to keep happening. There's going to be partnerships that were going to XRP that are going to go to XLM over time if this SEC lawsuit thing isn't resolved. You got to think MoneyGram is a company that is founded here in the United States. So they can't go and partner with somebody in a lawsuit with the SEC. So yeah, right now XLM is looking good. Now, if you're looking for a moonshot, you're looking to get some money, you're looking to take a little bit more risk, there's not too much downside with XRP. It's not like the US is going to just straight up ban XRP. They're not going to ban Ripple from, they're not going to sue Ripple to death and to the point to where they have to close and shut down the network. The network's not going to close. XRP is functional throughout the world. People are using it every day. The network is up, it's running. Once the lawsuit settles, which I think it is January 19th, is when the XRP lawsuit has the expiration for the continuation. Anyways, January, in about 3 weeks, we're going to know what the hell's going on with XRP. More than likely, they'll just delay it some more. But hey, who knows? Maybe there'll be a resolution. And I'm excited for that. Algorand or Hedera, which one's a little better long-term hold? I go Algorand. Hedera's got a lot of promise. Hedera Hashgraph, we did do a deep dive on that one, but didn't get received very well through the community. They do have some centralization issues, which nobody wants to believe in their community, but that's for another story. But no, I think Algorand, they have probably one of the best teams. I think it's Silvio Mercalli. Is that Avalanche or is that? Anyways. Whoever's behind Algorand, huge player in the space. And basically their layer one blockchain is doing things nobody else is doing. They're powering other blockchains and other networks. So lots of big partnerships, very fast and scalable. It's a proof of stake consensus. So really excited for that. And then let's take a quick look at the top gainers for the day. So we have VLX as the top gainer for the day, up 15%. I'm not too familiar with VLX, but VLX is it's an EVM chain. EVM is Ethereum virtual machine, so they basically help secure the network there. So think of maybe almost like a roll up or something, but basically it's a chain that works with Ethereum. Not too familiar with Secret. I'll take a look into this, and if they're still in the top 100 by tomorrow, I'll have a little bit more insight on it. I'm not too familiar with Secret. But then we got all the normal guys. We got Phantom and Cosmos, both up right around 10%. Near Protocol, which has been pumping all month. We actually have a Near Protocol deep dive that we're going to be putting up on the website or on YouTube tomorrow. So take a look out for that. Let's take a look. Look at this chart though, man. Look at this chart. We were as low as $13. Woo! Just in a month. $7 to $15 for something as big as this project. Tons of it's time to restart. No, wait, thank you. So we have tons of volume here. Compared to where it was, it's double the volume being traded, and it's went from $7 to 15. It's looking juicy. Started at $1 this year. It's probably not the best time to get into Near. If it was me, I do like Near. If you're not familiar, Near is another layer one blockchain. They also have a very good team. So very comparable to like Avalanche, Algorand, Solana. So it's just to be seen which one of these platforms will take the lead, but I don't see why Near couldn't. But I would expect to pull back. I think $10 is a good time to get into this project. Sitting at 15, I'd bet my house that this will pull back to $10 sometime in the next couple months. And then, because we're in Vegas, I'm a betting man. I will put the house up. Now, let's see what else we got. So Cosmos is looking pretty good. Cosmos is up. $38 Cosmos. I remember when Cosmos was trading around $20 for the longest time. And then Cadena down. Let's take a look at some of the losers. Cadena down 5%. This is actually pretty bullish. With Bitcoin sitting at 46,000, where it's been for quite some time. Bitcoin sitting at 46,000, which not very favorable. But if you look at the top gainers versus the top losers, predominantly the market is trending upward. So what does this say to me? It says that altcoins are pumping. And what happens when Bitcoin trades sideways? The altcoins start moving. Just another indication here. You're getting a lot of green, with the biggest losses just being 5% in Cadena and Hedera here as well, Avalanche. So, well, there we go. Well, that's all I got for the markets. Anybody else in the chat want me to check anything else out? No? All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for the market. I do want to just say that I am very excited for the year. I'm excited for what 2022 is going to bring. I do not believe that we were going through these 4-year cycles any longer. I think those days are done. What ended the cycle was, of course, you had the blow off top. You would have a big parabolic gain, and then you'd have a huge sell-off. But a lot of the sell-off was that majority of the investors in cryptocurrency and the majority of the investors in Bitcoin were afraid that there was this big narrative that Bitcoin will go to zero. Bitcoin's not here to stay. Bitcoin's whatever. So you had a lot of people exiting their position. They're just looking for profit. So you buy Bitcoin at a certain price, or you buy a crypto at a certain price, and then you get some parabolic gains out of it. You cash out because you don't really believe it's going to be here for a long time. You're just trying to make some money. Those days are gone. So no longer are we having these huge parabolic run-ups. We're getting big pushes in the bull market. But we're no longer having, we're no longer going to go from Bitcoin from 2,000 to 40,000 in the span of like 2 months. Like, things are happening more gradual. The volatility is being shaken out, and that's to be expected. So as the market grows, as the market goes into fruition, as it evolves, the volatility becomes less and less, just like a cheap stock. If you have a company that has a very low valuation, the price of the company or the price of the stock can move drastically from one end to the other. That doesn't happen with Apple. That doesn't happen with Google. Yes, the price may go up over time. However, you're not going to wake up one day and your $400 stock in Apple is now going to be $120. It's just too much money is invested in the project that it just can't move that much. And the same thing is true with Bitcoin. So as more institutions buy a Bitcoin, as more of these CEOs like Ray Dalio, like we discussed earlier, put a portion of their portfolio into Bitcoin, as this happens, less and less volatility. There is less Bitcoin in circulation. There's less Bitcoin being mined. There's less Bitcoin going out into the market. And with that said, there's going to be less selling. And the days are gone of the 4-year cycle. And now we have just price movements within certain windows. And as the trend has been in the last 8 months or so, or 9 months, we've gone into these little 3-month cycles where we pump for 1 month, pull back for 2 or 3, and then we continue on again. I think outside of a black swan event, where some country will straight up ban a cryptocurrency, or you have a passing of an ETF, or with the rate hike of the interest rates, outside of something of that nature, or just a straight up Wall Street crash, or the market crash for the global economy, outside of something like that, cryptocurrency is now more stable, and it is a more secure investment. So there's no need to liquidate everything because you think Bitcoin's going to drop to $3,000. No longer are we in those days. So very excited about what 2022 is going to bring.
Stereo 2 made it.
Stereo 2, where you been at, man? Happy New Year. Hello, everyone. Stereo 2, tell David Happy New Year, because I know you missed it. There's David right there. So David is off to a great start this year. He is very animated,
very quiet.
Yeah,
finally,
he's got nothing but that dumbass smile on his face all day. It's been very quiet in here, I haven't heard any stupid jokes or anything like that. So no, well, David will be here tomorrow, so we're excited to have him back in the studio. We'll get back to our normal grind that everyone here is familiar with. So I would just make fun of myself, but it just seems kind of weird. So anyways, that's all I got. Well, thank you so much for checking us out. If you haven't already, like the video, or if you're not subscribed, we're really excited to bring you onto the team. So subscribe, join us, hang out with the team, and then we're all going to grow together. We're going to take this channel mainstream. You're going to see us on